just can't stop laughing, can you, the three of you? Right, we're at the Kustom Kulture Blastoff here in Spalding, and we're with, you want to introduce yourself? Start with you, George.
George Smith, originally from London, now moved up to Cambridgeshire. So, yeah, shows like this got me kept going. For simple reason, it would die out. Us old kids done it for years ago, but from going on from there, like, expect to see how it used to be. Hopefully we're going to see more of it.
Okay, what's your name?
Jeff Ridgway, airbrush artist, and he pestered me into doing it.
Twisted me arm.
Ray Abgood, airbrush artist.
Oh yeah.
Lots of years.
Lots of years.
Yeah, you can tell that by his hair.
So George, you were telling me something about you guys all used to hang out in the 70s, is that right?
Yeah,
bit of a reunion.
Back in the 70s, there was Ray, there's Badger Ray, then there's Ray, there's Jeff Ridgway. There was a place called Alan Llewellyn's Autos down in Romford. Built some trick motors up down there, and also a fella called Phil Bissett, unfortunately he's not turned up today. But I had a motor first of all. My first car was a Ford cop called Moondust, and Jeff done that down at Allen's, a bit out on the road, but Jeff can tell you a bit more about that. And Ray done my pickup truck for me when we had that done, and he done a big bear on the back, so that was quite a trick. Plus a lot of other good motors come out there and what Jeff has done and Ray's done in the past, but they can tell you more about what they were doing.
Okay, Ray, we'll start with you. What's it like to come to these kind of events?
Brilliant, brilliant. It's from when I started, technology travels on. Shut up. You get it where...
This is probably the best interview I've ever done. You know that.
Anyone ever says to you, I was talking to Jeff this morning, anyone who says, I know all there is to know about it, you don't. Because even now we're finding there's new paints coming out, new ideas, new techniques. We still bounce things off like we was talking about it this morning, where what we used to use on cars, they're using totally different things. Jeff told me something today that I found out very interesting that I'll be using and putting into effect on the stuff that I'm doing now. So you never forget nothing. It all goes in. You still use it. You call on different mediums, whether you're working on a bike, car, scooter, aircraft. Format's exactly the same.
That's why these kind of events are good, aren't they? Really, because they bring lots of different people together in different stuff.
It's really good because you've got so many youngsters coming into it now. I first started in 1960 retouching in advertising, and at the dinner time I used to sit there, use the airbrush to do pictures, and my old governor said to me, Ray, it's a retoucher's tool, it will never ever catch on. Look at it today.
Still like Carl.
Yeah. You've got to look at it right. I'm not saying that Ray was slow, but he had a black beard when he started my car. I'm still waiting for the paintwork to dry.
You're coming in, Phil. Let's talk to you then. Go on.
Well, I'm self-taught artist. Airbrushing and stuff was all completely new. I mean, up until I came down to London, I was doing artwork and stuff with a big spray gun, paintbrushes and all sorts of other things. And airbrushing to me was just an eye-opener. I just picked up an airbrush and started using it like a pencil. And that was it. I found out that you could just paint with the thing. And it was more like a pencil than it was a paintbrush. So what you were doing really was sketching. And then, because if you look at a lot of freehand airbrush work nowadays, if you have a proper look at it, it just looks like a really high quality finished picture, a drawing. As he will tell you, no doubt.
Can I ask you why you wanted to have a reunion? Because we haven't stopped.
We've been
for how many years? 30
odd years have we been together?
We've all been doing our own thing.
Yeah.
But we met up. It's the first time I've seen Jeff since
35 years.
The Rod and Kustom at Manchester, Bellevue. The last Rod and Kustom, which was eons ago.
Can I ask you each like a very personal question, really? Phil and I were talking about it earlier before.
Best to ask his wife what you're going to ask.
It's having never been to any of these events before or knowing anything about airbrushing, the amount of hostility you guys get from like people that use brushes, almost like you're not really doing kind of artwork and stuff. It's all quite strange, isn't it?
Even now, and Jeff will bear me out, he'll still pick up paintbrushes and do a paint picture, or he'll do an airbrush picture, or you'll use brushes in with.
Yeah, but if you was to put a finished painting together that's been done using an airbrush in an art gallery or in an art show, they'll all come round, pull it to pieces, and it will get nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I entered a piece of artwork into a really top quality show in Manchester. It won Guest Choice, and from there all the paintings had to go down to London to be judged. Mine didn't.
Yours was lost in transit.
Oh yeah, and the year after, the strange thing was that the picture that won it was an identical copy of the one which I'd done, only it had just been done with a paintbrush.
Yeah. So, years and years ago, I can't remember when, but Burdick, he designed an airbrush for photograph retouching, turning black and white photos into colour. One of the biggest artists, Vargas, who used airbrush and brush, and his work was astounding. It was off the scale, and that was a mixture of both. But it's true what you say. When you mention airbrush, there's this stigma attached to it, where you walk round and you go and have a look at some of the pictures and the motors now that people are producing.
It's incredible.
And they're photographic. It is literally art. When someone spray canned on a wall and they went, oh, that's graffiti, but now it's got its own section that is art.
Yeah, and it's really funny, the councils now are art critics, aren't they? They decide which is good graffiti, which is bad.
Oh, quick, let's graffiti that wall, and within weeks it's a national treasure.
Well, we are, aren't we?
Right, gang.
Markets break up.
Right, gang.
We're doing a finer line. We're national treasures ourselves.